Hey guys, so today we are going to be talking about the distributive property, and we are going to use the distributive property to create equivalent expressions. So we've done this before, but when we did it, we worked with just numbers, and now we've got variables involved, but we're still going to use the same process. When you think back to the notes that we took where we talked about properties, when we talked about the distributive property, we said that we could take the number that's on the outside of the parentheses and distribute it to the terms that are inside of the parentheses by multiplication. So we are going to do that. We're going to take that 5 and we're going to multiply it by k, and we're going to take the 5 and multiply it by 4. Before we do that, something I want you to remember is that in front of that k we have a 1, okay? Remember there's a 1 there. That is really important to remember when we do our multiplication. So if we do 5 times 1k, we would get 5k, because we're really multiplying that 5 and that coefficient 1 together. 5 times 1k would give us k. The next part's easy. 5 times 4 would give us 20, and we're done. So we just distributed that 5 on the outside of the parentheses to the terms inside the parentheses by multiplication. Now, in some of the problems that are coming up, once we distribute, you may have to combine like terms. We don't have to do that here because 5k and 20 are not like terms, so our expression is completely simplified. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this next problem. In this problem, we are still using the exact same process. We're going to take that number that's on the outside of the parentheses and multiply it by the terms that are inside of the parentheses. Okay, so we're going to do 2 times 2c. Well, 2 times 2 would give me 4c. And then 2 times 4b, 2 times 4 gives me 8, so 2 times 4b would give me 8b. So again, we're just multiplying that number on the outside of the parentheses by the coefficients on the inside, and we're keeping the variables with the numbers that are inside the parentheses. Okay, we cannot combine 4c and 8b because they are not like terms, so our expression is simplified. All right, for this next one, it looks a lot different because we don't have a number on the outside of the parentheses, we have a variable. Now, we're still going to be using the exact same process. We're going to multiply that variable by the terms inside of the parentheses. So let's go ahead and start. Our a, let's multiply it by 3. Well, if you're doing a times 3 or 3 times a, another way to write that is just 3a, right? That represents 3 times a. So a times 3 would give me 3a. Now a times 7b, the way that we would write that is 7b a, okay? Because remember, the 7 being right next to the b like that means multiplication, and the b right next to the a like that also means multiplication. So we're really just multiplying all of those things together. We don't know what a is, so we just leave it as a variable, but that would be how we would multiply a times 7b. Now, neither of those are like terms, so we can't combine like terms here. So our final answer would just be 3a plus 7ba. Okay, so I skipped a problem. I do want you to go back to the 4 parentheses 3y plus 4 close parentheses, but I jumped down here because I wanted you to see what this problem looked like. So still we are going to multiply what's on the outside of the parentheses by everything on the inside of the parentheses. On the outside we have a term that has a number and a variable. So we're still going to use the same process that we've been doing. We are going to multiply 2w times 4w. Now, what we're really doing is doing 2 times 4, which would give us 8, and then you're doing w times w times w. Now remember, when we talked about the notes combining like terms on the other day, when we have repeated multiplication like this, you can write this as w squared, or w raised to the power of 2. So same thing is true here when we have this w and we're multiplying it by another w, we can write that as w squared. So 2w times 4w would give you 8w squared. Now when you do 2w times 3, you would just multiply our coefficient of 2 times 3, which would give us 6, and then 6w, because 2w times 3 would give you 6w. Now, neither of these are like terms because they are raised to different powers, so our expression is simplified. 8w squared plus 6w would be our final answer. All right, this next one is not pretty, but it is not bad, okay? So what I want you to do is we are first just going to look at this part where we've got the distributive property, because we need to distribute first, and then we're going to look to see if we can combine like terms. So far, after we've distributed, there hasn't been a time where we needed to combine like terms. In this problem, we more than likely will. So first, we are going to distribute. So we are going to multiply 2 times 4y, which would give us 8y. And we're going to do 2 times 2w, which would give me plus 4w. And then we're just going to rewrite everything that was outside of the parentheses that we did not distribute to, because you don't distribute to numbers that are not inside of the parentheses. So 4w plus 6y. Okay, now that we have distributed, we are going to combine like terms using the process that we have been doing in the past. So make your boxes, okay? And we have an 8y and a 6y that go together. They're like terms. And we have a 4w and a 4w, so plus 4w plus 4w. And we are now just going to combine our like terms. So we have 8y and 6y, that would give me 14y. And we have 4w and 4w, which would give me 8w. And that would be our final answer. So again, we distributed first, and then we combine like terms to get our simplified expression. Okay, so this next one's kind of similar to the one that we just did. Remember, the first thing that you need to do is focus on your parentheses and the number right outside. So we are going to do the distributive property with our parentheses. We're going to do 3 times 2x, which would give me 6x. And we're going to do 3 times 8, which would give me 24. And we just need to bring down this plus 6, or 6 plus, because we didn't use it. After we do the distributive property, now we are going to look to see if we can combine like terms, and we can. So we're going to box. We have a 6 and a 24, so 24 plus 6, and then our 6x does not have anything that you can combine it with. It doesn't have any like terms. So 24 plus 6 would give us 30, and then we would bring down our 6x. And that is as simple as we can get that expression with distributing and combining like terms. I want you to go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to try the last 2 problems that we did not do together, and then start the video again. I'm going to go through them with you, and then we will talk about the bottom of the page. All right, so these are the last 2 problems you needed to do. So 4 times 3y would give me 12y, and 4 times 4 would give me plus 16. Can't combine like terms there. For this one, 12 times w, or 12 times 1w, would give me 12w. And then 12 times 3e would give me plus 36e. Can't combine like terms there either, so we are done. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the bottom of the page. We are going to be factoring out using our GCF. All right, so we are now going to we're going to factor this expression 12x plus 14 by using the greatest common factor. And we have actually done this before. Earlier this year, we factored with the GCF, but we didn't have variables involved. The good thing is, though, it's basically the same thing. So we are going to look at our two numbers, 12 and 14, and we are going to find their greatest factor. So go ahead and list out your little, make your little factor T-chart. Our factors of 12 are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4, and that's it. Our factors of 14 are 1 and 14, 2 and 7, and that's it. So when you look here, our greatest common factor between these two numbers is 2. Okay, so we take that greatest common factor and we are going to put it on the outside of the parentheses. So that 2 is going to go on the outside of the parentheses. And then we're going to take the remaining factor, which is 6 and 7, and those are going to go inside of the parentheses, 6 and 7. Now, if you look back at the original problem, we had an x that was with the 12, right? The x was with the 12. So that means that that x needs to go with the 6 back in the parentheses. So it should be 2 parentheses 6x plus 7. So you find the GCF, that goes on the outside of the parentheses, and the two remaining factors go inside the parentheses. Make sure they're in the right order. And then whatever number the variable was originally with, you are going to use that same factor. So since that variable was with the 12, it's going to stay with the 6 here. All right, so for this next one, it looks similar, except there are two variables here. So we need to be a little careful when we solve. But we're going to use the same process. So we're going to look at the numbers that are given, and we are going to find the greatest common factor between the two of them. So between 36 and 24, let's go ahead and list 1, 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, and then 6 and 6. And then for 24, we have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. So if you look here at the numbers, our greatest factor between them will be 6. Okay? So 6 is going to go on the outside of the parentheses. And on the inside of the parentheses, we are going to put the remaining factors. So we have another 6, and we have a 4. Now, I'm going to go back and let's take a look at the variables that were with the original in the original expression. So we had 36m and we had 24n. So this m needs to go with the 6 that's inside the parentheses, and the n, oopsie, needs to go with the 4 that's on the inside of the parentheses. Okay? So it should read it should read 6 parentheses 6m plus 4n. So if it just has one variable, it will just go with one of the terms inside the parentheses. If it has two variables, you got to be careful and make sure that it goes to the right one. Okay, I want you to go ahead and finish the last 3 that are on this page, and then I want you to go to the key that is posted and check the answers for the last 3 that are on your practice. All right, good luck.